This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael, I'm on permanent vacation, and I've seen Monsieur Hulot's Holiday, a French comedy from 1953 directed by Jacques Tati. It's a plotless sort of story, focused less on narrative and more on the antics that occur within a small beachside vacation town. Among the various unnamed visitors, all of whom come from high society and have brought their own personal quirks with them, is Monsieur Hulot, a much more humble man whose lack of concern for his personal image is at odds with the stuffiness of the upper crust. Of course, as time goes on, we get to see just who actually gets the most out of their time. The lack of a true, concrete story makes a few things confusing, not to mention the decision to cut out as much spoken dialogue as possible. Almost every scene is driven by physical action, and whatever conversations are heard are generally incidental or flavorful, helping to build up the various characters as individuals, or at least define what portion of society they're meant to inhabit. It ranges from socialites who prefer to keep up appearances, a stock trader who is always on the phone with business, and even an intellectual who can only preach to anybody he thinks is listening. It leaves the actual vacationing to Hulot and whatever younger folk might be here, which again can come to the ire of others who primarily see Hulot as a nuisance. Hulot's simplicity is what really defines his character here, not so much in that he's flat or undeveloped, but more in that what he does, compared to others, is often simpler but just as fast as any newer means, if not more efficient as well. It's an idea briefly explored in Tati's previous film, Jour de Fête, and given some more time here, as we see some characters all but ignoring the freedoms around them in favor of their pretenses and showing up others, or something like that. Anyways, I will go back and say that while things are a bit confusing at first, this movie hardly concerns itself with making any narrative sense at all. It's more about the initial setup of the film and bringing everybody together, then setting up the conflicts between Hulot and the others, and ultimately knowing what to do to get these jokes and their themes across to the viewer. It's a pure sort of comedy in a way. As for the film's visuals, there's a clear style going on that was already present in Jour de Fête. Cinematography is almost always wide, with a great attention to layering and using foreground and background elements to deliver jokes or show multiple character actions at once, making an effective use of the real estate on screen. Editing also keeps shots paced out with few cuts, which by now is part of the proverbial bag of tricks for comedy performances, though in a sense it also harkens to silent film and their physical comedy. Sound design also has its own sort of focus, with one song that comes in and out at times as the film's score, and the rest of the world being captured in a minimalist manner, drawing attention to small and incidental sounds for the sake of a laugh. I figure the movie being in black and white is more of a financial thing than artistic, but even so, there are a few scenes that make great use of lighting and shadow to bring out other elements. Most of all, a nighttime scene involving fireworks, though that's all I'll say about that. There really isn't too much I can say specifically without just recapping events as they happen. All I can say is that this movie is very much a delight to see, not only for the actual events that occur on screen, but the way in which you become immersed in the environment, almost like you're on the beach with everybody. Well, almost everybody, I suppose. Monsieur Hulot's Holiday, Jacques Tati, 1953. 4 stars. I definitely say it's worth a watch. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you have something to add, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I have a feeling this is another case of having little to say about something that's too good to be criticized. Then again, there's also not too much to work with. I probably still need practice writing these reviews.